So, one of the questions that Nancy and I continue to get uh, is, what type of LinkedIn content will turn my followers into clients? Because at the end of the day, you're looking to convert connections and followers into clients. It's why we're on LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn to grow our business. We're on LinkedIn to grow our relationships. We're on LinkedIn to grow our brands. We're on LinkedIn to grow our authority. And all of those things come back to the types of content that you create on a weekly basis to build your authority, build your personal brand, build your trust, build your relationships. Before I get into the four types of content that Nancy and I feel turn the most followers and connections into clients, we want to invite you to join us during our free clients connections into clients LinkedIn workshop. It is your LinkedIn content roadmap. It is a free 3-day workshop from July 27th to July 29th from 12 to 1 Eastern time. It is live and recorded. So if you are late, you can't make a certain day, you can watch it back until that Sunday. It's completely free to sign up, and we're going to be teaching three of these pillar pieces of content, which are text posts, market research polls, and LinkedIn newsletters, and how, when done properly, can convert your connections and followers into clients. So if you're watching on social, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, just type the word me, M-E, in the comments, and we can then send you the link to get yourself registered. If you're listening on the podcast, it's even easier. All you have to do is go to the description of this episode, click the link, get yourself registered, and we'll see you on July 27th. Now, so there are four types of LinkedIn content that really build this know, like, and trust. And the first is authority content. This teaches and earns the follow or the connection request. Now, there are different forms, and I want to kind of walk you through each of these. So the first is document carousel posts. So Nancy and I have talked about these before, where you can showcase your skill set and your authority through these quote unquote slide carousel document posts. Now, rule of thumb, they should be short little tidbits on each slide. You can make them through Canva. These are the highest performing format on LinkedIn right now that create saves where people will actually read it later. And you've probably seen these before. You can obviously engage with them on the mobile app. You can engage with them on the desktop. And what I can tell you is these are by far some of the most beneficial types of posts to share and to create because it really allows you to stand out. It really allows you to make sure that you're, showing up the right way and showing that authority. So, I did one a few months ago on LinkedIn's new work celebration feature. And again, it has an opening slide, and then as you click through it, again, work celebration. It goes over each slide has a little bit of a tidbit of why you should be utilizing something. It teaches. And then at the end, you're asking people to repost this if you found it helpful. And most of mine are between 7 and 10 pages. That is typically what's recommended. And they're very short tidbits. And these are the types of authority building content that really engage people the right way. Now, the second, um, how to like text posts. So you've seen these many, many times. You can just do a simple text post or image text post where you're teaching people something in specific of how to. Uh, Prime example, I did a post a few weeks back, how to generate leads on LinkedIn 7 different ways. And in that text post, I labeled and went through each of these 7 different ways that you can generate leads on LinkedIn. The other is like a tear down type of post. So this is, um, reviewing a weak profile headline, then showing a stronger version, or much like I did most recently, I went over the right and the wrong way of adding a note to a connection request, the ones that are very spammy and pitch slappy compared to the ones that are done the right way. So doing a quote unquote tear down type of post, like here's the wrong way, but here's what you should be doing. So those types of posts right there are the ones that truly build your authority. Now, the second are personal and story content. So this is never going to go out of style. Building your personal brand is really important because it really allows you to humanize yourself, whether this is done through short narrative text posts with an image or not an image, behind the scenes, maybe, like I do, I will, show myself at a keynote, like before I go on stage, what I believe about my field compared to, other people and the position that they take. Humanizing yourself in this way is what really builds that know, like, and trust. And I think a lot of people sometimes um, become afraid of really sharing the more personal side of who they are and what they believe. But as long as it's leaving people better, as long as you're making a point of reference, but also giving people a path to go down, that's going to build that know, like, and trust. So allowing yourself to reveal more of not just what people see on the outside, what also people see on the inside and behind the scenes is what's going to really convert more of those people that are just, looking at your content to following you and engaging with you. Now, the third type of content is growth content. So this is what's going to build your email list. This is what it's going to build more followers, maybe more inbound connection requests. That's, a mini case study that you've done, a client win or a testimonial from someone, or maybe here's what's changed. Now, um, as along the lines of the here's what's changed, I absolutely did something on this more recently when we went over, Nancy and I did this together, when we went over some of the changes to the LinkedIn algorithm. So I'll give you a prime example. I did a LinkedIn newsletter edition the other day on the new math of LinkedIn reach. Likes are out, saves are in. So I actually went through step by step in this newsletter edition, you know, what has changed in the LinkedIn 360 Brew algorithm that has correlated to the fact that LinkedIn has said likes don't matter anymore. Deeper engagement does, such as people saving your posts. And I went through step by step, in this newsletter edition what people need to do to create more saves. Why likes no longer tell the whole story. And I gave a little snapshot. The past 28 days, I had 20 saves. So, I post 5 times a week. So I post 20 times a month. So every single one of my posts basically got a save. The hidden importance of dwell time, smaller audiences are winning. And that's the big thing is that this is what's going to allow again, that know, like, and trust being built. So sharing that growth aspect, the results, the case studies, the client conversion and wins, a testimonial, all of that is going to play to your benefit. Now, the fourth and final type of content that turns the most followers and connections into clients is conversion content. So this sparks replies and earns reach. So there are I would say there's three that in specific cause this to happen. Hot take posts. So again, giving your hot take to invite friendly debate. Open questions tied to, tension that your clients feel. But the best way is LinkedIn market research polls. There are still people that don't really like them. If done the right way, they are so beneficial. They're fast to make, they're easy to answer, and they hand you instant audience research. Case in point, I did a poll question last week on a specific topic. It was based upon something that I talked about earlier in the week about connection requests that have notes attached to them. So my question was, are you more likely to accept a connection request with or without a note attached? And I gave people some choices: with a note, without a note, depends on what the note says, other comment below. Now, this got 82 votes. 62% said depends on what the note says. So that tells me that people are skeptical about accepting connection requests based on what's shown in the note. But I can actually click on the 82 votes and it shows me every single person that voted. The people that voted for with a note, the people that voted for without a note, depends on what it says, other comment below, and there were 25 comments. So this sparked a really nice, friendly debate, but also it gave me much needed market research to understand that, this is a trigger for people. They are tired of getting connection requests with spammy notes attached. So when we're talking about conversion type of content on LinkedIn, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The fact that we can simply put a LinkedIn poll out there and we get conversion of what we need. We're looking for people to answer those questions so we can get that market research, so we can obviously follow up with those people, but also create more content from the market research that we've conducted. Now, before I sign off from today's training and today's episode, again, if you would like to learn our exact clients, connections into clients conversion method, where we're going to be teaching this in a 3-day workshop where we teach you our LinkedIn content roadmap, and you're watching on social media, all you have to do is type me in the comments and I'll send you the registration link. It is from July 27th to the 29th from 12 to 1 Eastern. If you're listening on the podcast, it's even easier. All you have to do is go to the description of this episode, click the link, get yourself registered, and we do hope to see you there. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's training. Love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you next time.